Hello, Assalam Alaikum. Today we are going to study again the Mcat, in which we are going to study the chapter Variety of Life. And this chapter is taken from the sindh textbook book of biology in the first year. And the topics we are going to study today are going to be taxonomy, homology, biochemistry, cytology, and genetics are some of the branches which will help in the taxonomy, which we will be discussing. After that, we will be discussing nomenclature. After that, we will be discussing kingdom system. While I have written over here viruses and life cycle of a bacteriophage, but we unfortunately I haven't prepared that. That's why I'm not going to uh, put the lecture about that today. So let's get started. First of all, we will discuss what is taxonomy. Taxonomy is actually a study. It is a brief study of the naming of the living organism. While the naming of the living organism depends on many factors, like what is the structure of that organism, what does that organism eat, and how do it produce its food, and how it maintain its living. There are so many things from which some basic and if we say the most important things which we see, and due to which we classify the organisms are biochemistry on the basis of their chemistry, on the basis of their cell studies, the similarities and dissimilarities in their cells, and the genetics plays the main role. It is the, we can say, pillar of the taxonomy, in which we see if an organism has same DNA structure, then it has to be in the same group. First of all, biochemistry is a study of chemical components in body, such as amino acid, double helical structures of DNA, and it helps in classification of living organisms on the basis of their structure. As I told you, that the chemistry, what is chemistry? Everything, uh, everything's structure. For example, if we talk about skin, then in the skin, what sort of chemicals are over there, what what sort of amino acids in certain proteins does an organism contain. All those studies helps us to classify one organisms from another, and divide them into groups according to their chemistry differences, or according to their chemistry similarities. After that, we have cytology. In cytology, we study the cell. There are certain cells which are very unique, such as bacteria and cyanobacteria, so they are just kept into a different kingdom of their own. After that, genetics plays a main role. It is the building block of the heritage, or of the similar characteristics. If there is any, or there are some organisms having same characters and a lot of similarities, it means they have they have same type of DNA, or same DNA coding. After that, grouping classification of species. So this is the classification of species. Like, we have classified species into different groups, because as you know, we have so many living organisms on earth. So in order to study them, we have divided into different groups, from which some groups are very big, while some are the subgroups, and then subgroup, and then subgroup, and at the end we have species. So we will start with species. We have one species. Some species surround and make a group, and that group is known as genera. And if we talk about three or four similar genera, then we put into a family, and that family, number of families are going to make one order, and a number of order are going to make classes, and a number of classes are going to make one phylum, and that phylum, if we have 2 3 4 phylums, are going to make one kingdom. And for some species, subphylum is also used in order to classify them according to their characteristics, because some species are sometimes similar to the similar to the phylum, as well as have some dissimilarities from that certain phylum, so they form a subphylum for those sort of species. uh, Let me give you another classification from down to bottom. Like, we have first kingdom, after kingdom we have phylum, classes, order, family, and then after family we have genera, and after genera we have species. It's kind of that, if you are roaming around in your house or outside of your house, then you are one person from your family. And if you are roaming around with your mom and dad and your sister and brother, you are going to be family. And if you are roaming around with your relatives and you and all, so they are going to be, in short, in Pakistan we still say family, but I can, if just to make an example, I can call them as relatives. So all the relatives, or we if you are belonging to a certain family, like we belong to powers Power family, we have a caste. So we can say all the powers are going somewhere. So what happens, we made three groups. Number one, individual, which is going to be species. After that, genera, which is going to be family. And number three, which I have made right now, which is going to be the caste of that particular person. Uh, if we talk about me, then I can say we are powers. So many powers are going somewhere. So that's how this thing works. Example of classification. First example is of wheat. In this example we have kingdom plantae. Kingdom is going to be the kingdom of plant, in which we have a lot of plants. Division is going to be tracheophyta. Class is going to be monocotyledon, monocotyledoni, whatever you pronounce it, but I pronounce it monocotyledon. And after that we have pearls, Poaceae, and then Triticum and Triticum indicum. And that's all very, we can say, confusing names, which I cannot even pronounce. So we do not have to learn it. Don't worry about it. I know you must be thinking, do we have to learn these sort of names which we cannot even understand? No, we don't have learned everything, but we have to learn something which is at the end, which is Triticum indicum. This is the scientific name of wheat, and which is going to be asked you in the MCQs in your Mcat 2020. Kingdom Animalia. This is the example of a housefly, in which we have kingdom Animalia. Then we have phylum Arthropod. Now phylum Arthropod is the phylum of all the insects. So yeah, you are also going to learn about phylum and divisions further in other chapters. So you have to be prepared for that. After that we have class Insecta. After that we have order Diptera and family Muscidae and genus Musca and species Musca domestica. And the species name, we will learn the nomenclature later. So this is the classification of housefly, and that is the classification of wheat. And these all the classification very complicated, but you have to learn a little bit about the kingdoms and the division and the name of the species. There are some common names which are important and which usually come in your exam, so you have to learn that. And if we talk about class, order, family, they are very rare to come, but when we will study further, we have chapters named as Kingdom Animalia, Kingdom Protoctista, and all the kingdoms. With the name of kingdoms, we have different chapters, so we will study them in detail. After that, you might be able to guess what insect or what species could be in what class or what order or what family. At least you will be able to tell in what class I can find this organism. Let's be quick, I have took so much time. After that we have nomenclature. Nomenclature is the method of the naming of the species, not naming, it's naming of the species. Now this method is the binomial nomenclature. Binomial means two names, two, and nomial names, two names. First name is going to be the name of genre, and the second name is going to be the name of organism. Like over here, triticum is the name of genus, and indicum is the name for wheat. It is the particular name for wheat, that's written over here as well. And let's go ahead. After that, we have kingdom system by Brocode Whitaker. So Whitaker was someone whom I am referring as my brother. So that's the guy who made this classification. In this classification, he divided into five, which are kingdom Monera, Protista, then we have kingdom Fungi, then we have Plantae and Animalia. Animalia, Fungi, Plantae, Protista, and Monera. So they are very easy to learn, but when it comes to what animals are included in which kingdom, it's kind of complicated, because kingdom Monera contain unicellular prokaryotes, and kingdom Protista contain unicellular eukaryotes. Now they are very similar, so you can make a mistake very easily, and that's the reason in your exams these sort of questions are going to come a lot. Multicellular non-chlorophyllous eukaryotes which feed heterotrophically by absorption. Cell wall always present. That's our this is the kingdom Fungi, in which we have cell wall present, and they are multicellular, but they do not have chlorophyll. They are also eukaryotes. Okay. After that, we have multicellular chlorophyllous eukaryotes. They are multicellular, but unlike fungi, they are chlorophyllous. That's why they are added in the plantae, and they also have cell wall. So we have two kingdom having cell wall, fungi and plantae. One is non-chlorophyllous and the other is chlorophyllous. Kingdom Monera and kingdom Protista are very similar. Both are unicellular. The Monera, mone, is prokaryote, while the Protista is eukaryote. Okay. After that, we have multicellular eukaryotes which fed heterotrophically, which is plant, and no doubt you know about it. So you don't need to learn it, and that's how we understand the kingdom system by Whitaker brother, Brocode Whitaker. After that, we have kingdom system of Margulis and K squads. They said no, brother Whitaker, we are not going to agree with him. We just have to go against him, and we have been their competitor since a long time. So they were in the competition. They said no, we are not going to accept his theory, so let's modify it. So they modified a little bit, which is a good modification. That's why it's over here and we are studying, and that's the classification which might be being followed right now, but I have no idea about that because I haven't studied that in that much detail. So kingdom Prokaryota, which is Monera, which was Monera in the time of Whitaker, it includes almost all prokaryotes. Similarly, prokaryotes, but all, not just unicellular. If it's multicellular, still it's going to be in kingdom Prokaryota. Bacteria and cyanobacteria as well, which we have studied that they are the unique type of cells. That's why they are in individual kingdom. Kingdom fungi, it includes non-chlorophyllous, as we know, multicellular, but except yeast is not included. Organisms, so which of the fungi is not included is kingdom fungi, then that's going to be yeast. Okay. Organisms having chitinous or chitinous cell wall and cenocytic body called mycelium. Mycelium is a kind of body which is unique. So cenocytic body, it contains multicellular, or we can say it's not multicellular actually. It has many nuclei. This cenocytic body is a kind of body having many nuclei while having one cell wall, one long cell wall containing many nuclei. I think I am going very long and taking too long to complete this lecture. I'm really sorry about that. Agaricus and yeast are the agaricus and then yeast. Why yeast when there is written? Okay, they said except yeast. It means the yeast is the one which is not multicellular. It is also fungi, but it's not multicellular. It's also in this group. That's why agaricus, mushroom, and yeast. I'm really sorry, I did a mistake. Well, humans make mistake. That's very common. Kingdom Protista in the time of Whitaker, but now it's Protoctistum. It includes all the unicellular eukaryotic organisms which are no longer classified as animals, plants, or fungi. Euglena, uh, Euglena and Paramecium are the example. Chlamydomonas is also example, and Plasmodium. Multicellular algae, primitive fungi have also been included. Some of the fungi are also included. Still, we have some up and downs because we cannot classify in them very uh, particularly, just like we classify our books and our studies, because uh, this is nature. So nature is not according to us, so we cannot just manage it easily. That's why we still get some fungi in the kingdom Protoctista. Now unicellular eukaryotic organisms, so there is no much difference from the Whitaker. Kingdom Planta, it includes all the eukaryotic, multicellular, chlorophyllous, photosynthetic, and blah 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 blah. Just leave it. Kingdom Animalia, the kingdom of animals, the kingdom of humans, and Homo sapiens. Okay. It includes all eukaryotic, non-chlorophyll, multicellular, ingestive, heterotrophs. Heterotrophs means that the people, the organisms which depends on other organisms, and autotrophs are those organisms which make their own food with no, and they do not have cell wall. As you know, kingdom animalia is not going to have cell wall because that's us. We are the king, we are the kings of kingdom animalia. Okay, so let's wind up our lecture. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like the video. If you don't like the video, let me know, suggest me how can I make it better for you and help you as well. And I want every viewer to be interested in my lectures and be able to take some benefit from whatever the work I am doing. And I would really appreciate your suggestion. Your thumbs down is also appreciated, your thumbs up is also appreciated, and please show some love. Subscribe to my channel. You will see a red button down there, just push it. I'm waiting for you. 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah, you push that button. I trust you. Show some love for the turtle. Just look at the face, how beautiful is nature, and keep discovering the nature and have fun. Allah Hafiz.